Yeah. Tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to the Mr. Show, and I Red Pill Rickster. This shorty here says that she's tired of partying every weekend. She used to call girls pick-me's. She's a strong, independent woman. Let's see what she's got to say. All right here, independent, strong, black woman. Let's do this.
Partying every single weekend. It's like I'm just partying every single weekend. And I'm gonna have to party tomorrow, and then I'm gonna have to party in 2 weeks from now.
A few moments later.
At what age did you wake up and realize that you no longer wanted to be a strong, black, independent woman?
Bruh.
And this can apply to white women and men as well, because I've definitely heard this term coined by a lot of people. But for me, it was about 6 months ago. I legit woke up, realized that I've slayed all of my goals. I have my career, I have my house, I have the car, I have everything else, and I don't want it anymore. If you can't relate to what I'm saying, then you can't relate to what I'm saying.
Why is that, shorty? You had to party every weekend, and you kept partying, and you needed to party and party and party and kept partying. Party and party. All right, why?
But for me, at 32,
why?
And a couple more months left till I'm 33,
Post-wall.
I realize that my priorities are changing. And now I want to be a housewife.
I want all the 20-something year olds to understand that when you're 20 years old and 21, you think you know everything. Everything. Flop.
I want to raise children. I don't want responsibilities. I don't want to have a mortgage. Actually, I do want a mortgage, but I don't want it to be in my name. I honestly want to relinquish responsibility to an able-bodied man. Keyword, able-bodied man. And this is such a new thing for me, and this is epiphany, and this is something that I've been struggling with, that I would get to the point in my life where I no longer identified as a strong, black, independent woman.
It is so interesting how...
Why? Why would you not want to identify as a strong, black, independent woman? You want to be identified now as dependent on a man? Oh, gosh. All right.
How women can just feel the need to say, oh, my priorities has changed. It's like, oh, why have they changed now? Because you know that wall is coming.
The wall.
And it's crazy because I remember
3 shots, 3 days, 3 years past the wall.
growing up, or in my 20s, I would hear of women who would go out, they would seek these fabulous careers, attorneys, doctors, lawyers, whatever it is, whatever they wanted. And then all of a sudden, they would get married and they would give it all up. And I used to think, what the actual... Who does all this to give it up to be a stay-at-home mother?
Yeah, when they realize how stressful it is to get up every day and slay the dragon, as we call it. Go out every day and I deal with the people at my work. Every day you have to get up and deal with people that don't have your best interest at heart. They just want to get ahead of you. And you realize it's much easier to stay at home, be reasonable with your man, serve your family, not just your man, serve yourself by serving your family.
And then I turned 32 and a half. And I realized it is I. I am that woman. I yearn to be a stay-at-home mom.
Uh-huh.
Emotional, damn it.
You know what happened to her. Yo, you done already. Keep going, girl. Keep going. We with you.
I no longer want to take on all the responsibilities. I want to delegate it to a man. I want to live a soft life. And a small part of me feels like I've worked for that. I've proven to myself, I feel like I've proven to my parents, I've proven to the world that I can do it. And now that that has been proven, I no longer want it.
Now, the next thing you got to prove is one thing to get a man. Is the next thing to keep a man.
And at 32, I think men have reached their peak of whatever it is that they do. And they've caught up.
You see how that is? Men know everything about women, every stage that they're at. Men know how to deal with it, how to maneuver, how to talk to them, how to speak, how to take it to the next level, right? Women don't even care, B. They don't even care.
And I think that I'm finally comfortable with letting them take the lead. I just need a applicant. Does anybody else feel that way? Am I the only one that feels that way? Sound off below.
What most importantly strikes me about this woman is just like some black women, not all, but she really don't recognize her value placement in the sexual marketplace. She's a nice.
Now, why does he say that? Why does he say that she does not recognize her value placement in the sexual market, dating market? And that's because she passed 30, bro. She passed the wall.
Looking woman and look like she can clean up well if she really wanted to, but you're not going to be able to compete out here with a lot of women who just, simply look better than you. But she definitely strikes me as a woman who will date outside of her race. So I think that'll probably be the best route for her to just find her a chat.
That's his opinion. I'm going to have to say with that, she looks like she would definitely clean up well and look great, right? I ain't lying still, real talk. And she don't have to date out of her race. Many black men would look at her and say that that's a beautiful woman and it won't deal with it.
Because it's really going to take a patient man to deal with her Valley Girl speech. Because
yeah, and all the accomplishments that she's made and stuff, and hearing about it all the time could get irritating. I agree on that.
I know a lot of men that are just like me, and eventually we're going to get tired of hearing her voice all day. And look, guys, I thought this was funny too, that this post that she did kind of went viral. So somebody let her know that men on YouTube like me are going to be making videos about her, and the post that she did, This is what she had to say about it.
So this morning I posted a video about how at the ripe old age of 32, I decided I no longer
She doesn't realize the internet claps back.
wanted to be a strong black independent woman anymore. I've been there, I done it. It was great. I'm over it now. I'm 32. I'm ready for soft life. I'm ready for a man to take care of me. I'm ready to the next chapter. I'm ready to be a housewife. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody left this comment and I thought it was really interesting because she said, now, those men that get on those podcasts and talk about women, the Kevin Samuels of the world are going to...
The Kevin Samuels of the world. You mean the man them that watch women get away with everything? Huh? The man them that watch women file fake SA assault charges and get away with it. The man them that watch over 30% of the children being born are born to not the man that's taking care of the child. It's like born to some other dude. Man's manipulated, taking care of the child. So let's hear about these so-called Kevin Samuel type dudes like me that put a mirror in front of women's face and make them accountable for what they're doing.
Bash me. As a woman, I think that we have the privilege to change our minds. And for a man to be angry about this, I think that probably comes from a place of hate or anger because they can't. Because
the double standard is crazy. And for men to be upset, she's saying that if men are upset because we can't just change our mind, right? How about women just be accountable for changing your mind and being completely wrong in your initial thoughts?
as a woman, I can choose to work really hard, accomplish all this, and then also use my pretty privilege to get this without lifting a finger.
Wow.
Sometimes people are angry about this.
I actually defended her, saying that she definitely would clean up nice and ting. But to hear her talk and how she's talking, I might have to agree with the guy that was talking in the commentary to say that she'd be irritating to listen to all day.
Some women can attain all of this and never lay a finger, never do anything, because a man will gladly provide it for them. And ladies, that is the beauty of being a woman. And we should bask in it.
Double standards.
We should embrace it.
Terrible advice.
And there's nothing to be ashamed of about it. And I feel like there's nothing to be ashamed of in regards to having a change of opinion. What is wrong with that?
And what trips me out a lot of times about these women that are approaching the wall fast, they start making all these social media posts talking about they're ready to be in a relationship, they're ready to be a wife. But the rub is always that they need that man to make a certain amount of money. And
And we need women to not be certain amount of ran through, yo.
And if that man make a high amount of money, it is always truly interesting to see what women will put up with just to get one. Check this out.
I went on a coffee date this morning with a man who lives in my neighborhood. We met while we were walking our dogs, and we chatted a few times before he asked me out to coffee. And then our date this morning actually lasted for quite a long time, especially for a coffee date. And at one point I asked him if there were only 20 minutes left before the world ended, what would you do? And he was like, I don't know. Probably try to have sex with you. I just was not expecting that answer at all. And I bust out laughing and told him that, especially because he hadn't hit on me or anything like that. Like, we just had like normal friendly conversation. So it didn't even feel like he was trying to make a pass at me, like just like an honest answer. Like that's what's on his mind right there at that moment, which honestly, it was flattering. I liked it. I regret to inform y'all that everybody who was commenting about red flags was correct. This man was a fucking lunatic. So from our very first coffee date, which I'm about to expose myself, this man did not even buy my coffee the first time we met up, and I did all these mental gymnastics about why he might not have done that.
I'll buy a coffee. Like, that's crazy.
He didn't because he's a cheap bastard. Okay, girls, don't ever gaslight yourself into. You see, this is why it's taken me a long time to provide this update, because it's embarrassing for me.
Mental gymnastics. I like that.
Me too. Yeah, so from that point forward, he did not ask me out or attempt to take me out ever again. He would hit my line constantly, offering to go on a walk together or asking me to hang out. And at one point when he suggested we hang out, I was like, why don't we hit the beach? He said he had a meeting in the afternoon, so we should hang out at his pool instead. At my big age, I knew better than to say yes to hanging out at his place. But he lives in the nicest condo on my street, so I was like, fuck it.
You hear that? She said she knew better than to go to his place and hang out, but due to the fact that he had the nicest condo on the block, she bypassed all those red flags in her head.
Right?
At my big age, I knew better than to say yes to hanging out at his place. But he lives in the nicest condo on my street, so I was like, fuck it. So we're at his pool.
See how it is when a woman likes a guy, the rules change. The rules change.
Unsurprisingly, he's touchy-feely, kissy-kissy, smoochy-smoochy. Asked me if I'm hungry, which surprised me. But I'm like, okay, it's a good sign. Maybe we can come back from not buying my coffee day one. So I told him, yeah, but I want to hang out in the hot tub for a little bit. So we talked in the hot tub for a long time.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? He went for food. She's like, let's go hang out in the hot tub. So is she complaining about the kissy-feely or is she liking the kissy-feely? Because if she's liking the kissy-feely, I understand the hot tub. If she's complaining about the kissy-feely, why are you talking about you want to hang out in the hot tub? I don't know.
And out of nowhere, he's like, I need to walk my dog at a certain point. Like, damn, okay, Ninja, like, let's go walk her. So we're walking his sweet dog, no shade to her, I miss her. And then we get to my corner, and he said, don't you live here? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, good night. I was like, oh, we're not going to go eat? He was like, oh, that place closed at 6.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go to Whole Foods and grab something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was the most humiliating moment of my life. And again, it should have ended right there. I literally wanted to cry when I got home because I have never had a man do something like that to me.
It's like I'm just partying every single.
And that was it. Mr. Show. Jeez. Poor thing. What can I say? She wants to party and my girl wants to party every time and sending out mixed signals and ting. That's what happens. Thanks for tuning in to the Mr. Show. And I Red Pill Rickster. Till next time, big respect every time.